What's up? Time to talk about a Marvel movie for once. Not the new garbage Marvel movies that have been popping up pretty much every other month. No. Today we're going to be talking about an old one from 2007, which you either loved or you hate when it came out. This is Ghost Rider, starring Nicolas Cage and Eva Mendes. Ghost Rider is released by Columbia Pictures February 16th, 2007. Stars Nicolas Cage, Eva Mendes, produced by Avi Arad, Stephen Paul, Michael DeLuca, and Gary Foster. Uh, yeah. And written and directed by Mark Steven Johnson, who's also brought us films like Daredevil, Killing Season, Simon Birch, Ghost Rider, and the sequel, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. This had a whopping big budget of $110 million at the time. So, yeah, uh, pretty good for Sci Fi Channel effects. Anyways, Ghost Rider is the story of like a stunt performer. That's the word. Yeah, that yeah, Daredevil. Uh, Daredevil performer who is down on his luck, not completing his jumps and stuff, and he sells his soul to the devil to be the best that he can, and then he ends up watching his dad die in it, and then he tries to be it even more, and he eventually starts getting tons of fame and fortune, going for unbelievable jumps, like jumping six Black Hawk helicopters with the blades turning, which is highly unlikely that anyone can jump that, especially on a dirt bike. But yeah, and he goes to complete that, but in the midst of his fame and fortune, he finds an old love that he really wants to reconnect with, and he does. And right at that moment, Satan himself comes back, and there's evil afoot, and other dumb evil presence people causing havoc in the world, and Satan makes him the Ghost Rider to take care of it, which is a dark superhero, which is this flame guy on the cover. And yeah, basically he has to go and live two lives like every other superhero. So yeah, Ghost Rider is your typical superhero type backstory. You have your typical, somewhat normal person in their life, and then they do something, and they get like their powers or whatever. In this case, Nicolas Cage turns into a flaming skeleton dude who rides a flaming like motorcycle, and yeah, goes and stops evil forces from attacking the world. Now, the best part, one thing I found really funny about the villains in this film is they're all elements. Like, there's the demon made from earth, wind, fire, and like water and everything like that. So yeah, that was pretty funny to see in this type of film. Some people call this a horror film. It's like an action horror villain or superhero film. So yeah, um, yeah, I wouldn't really call it horror though. The CG definitely does not hold up in this film at all. Uh, this is actually one of the better Nicolas Cage films I find. He's not super over the top acting or anything like that. He's pretty actually subdued, most part, pretty believable. The acting in this is actually pretty good, and for the most part, the build up is actually pretty well done. And once you get to see the flame guy and all the crazy CG effects, it gets pretty dated though. There's not much good to say about it. A lot of it looks like old Sci-Fi Channel movie CG effects and stuff like that, which is fun to look back on because it's so corny now. But it's still like I found this one character like the Ghost Rider to be actually a little more enjoyable to watch when I'm older. When I was younger, I hated this movie, but this one, it's okay. It's your generic superhero film done with like a more different type of film. It's definitely not the superhero films they were expecting in 2007. Mind you, this is pre uh, Marvel Universe age and stuff. So you're getting like Daredevil and Ghost Rider and like the Punisher movies and stuff like that were coming out. So it was definitely the darker stuff, which was actually up more my alley. So yeah, but uh, I do like it's a fun popcorn flick, but overall, it's cookie cutter, super generic, super predictable, and just basic, which is fine. When I want to turn off my brain, just watch waste 2 hours watching something with some interesting and amusing effects and stuff in it. That's fine, but it's definitely not noteworthy. It's no Oscar winning film by any means or anything like that. It's just your typical good ghost rider type movie. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 5, just because it's basic and didn't really bring anything new to the table besides the darker thing image of a Ghost Rider at the time. But now looking back, it's cheesy and hilarious to watch and look back on. So it's good and bad all at once. So yeah, it's definitely getting the middle of the road for me. 3 out of 5 for Ghost Rider, and I am not even gonna bother checking out the sequel because I remember I watched that once and I think I turned it off 30 minutes in because I was so bored and it was just ridiculous. So yeah, but if you do want to hear my opinions on that one, comment those down below. But yeah, Ghost Rider is a fun popcorn flick. Still fun and engaging today, especially if you don't like these big family-friendly cinematic universes. This one's a little more mature and darker and more on the evil side when they actually try to push the boundaries of superhero flicks and stuff in the early 2000s, which was a struggling year for superhero flicks. But overall, it's it's better than what I originally thought it was. So yeah, definitely if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on Netflix right now too, if you really want to see it if you haven't. And also there's a trailer link down below, so you can check that out too if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Also, while you're down there, my Instagram's always linked down there below, so make sure you check that out because I always post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my story with the film title and a hashtag somewhere in the video clip, and the subgenre of film's always in there too, so in case it's something you're not interested, you don't you're aware of it because I'm a nice guy like that. So yeah, make sure you follow me on Instagram to stay in the loop. Like I said, comment your opinions of Ghost Rider down below. Did you like it, hate it? Do you think it should fit into the Marvel Universe and it'll make it better like I do? Cool, I'd love to hear your thoughts on all that, so comment those down below. Also, if you have any films at all, whether it's superhero related or anything like that, that you want to hear my opinions on, comment those down below too. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them, make sure you like this video, share it so more people are aware of it, and also make sure you subscribe because you never really know what I'm going to talk about next. It's not going to be another superhero movie because I got at least 4 B, Z grade movies to check out and to talk about. So for the next few film reviews. So yeah, Ghost Rider is a fun one to look back on, but I'm probably not going to watch it for a while. So yeah, but make sure you stay clear of all those demons that are out there. They're everywhere. They're always trying to make our spot, our world darker and more interesting, which a lot of people don't want for some reason. So I guess I'll see you in the next review. So cheers!